Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe. On the last part, we went for God, and we actually got him, so we now have our own little interdimensional llama deity following us. Rukra also went for God, and we stopped him. We also went ahead and we raided his base and his lab, so we got some cool new deltas like Delta Larvesta. Actually, that's the only one. And so on this part, we are going to be taking on the League rematches here. So it's been a long time coming. So I'm only bringing these Pokemon. Charizard and Mew are just kind of here for the ride. They're sort of like our starters, so I figured they deserve to make it into the Hall of Fame again. But what we're really bringing here is this Arceus. So my Arceus is really bad. But I trained it up to level 105. I gave it 252 EVs in HP, and the same in attack. Right here, we're going to be running a moveset of Extreme Speed, Sword Stance, Recover, and Earthquake. Return would actually be better than Earthquake, and again, this is because we're using Primal Arceus. So Primal Arceus has the benefit of basically being able to use Extreme Killer, which is its Extreme Speed Spec, without having to have coverage. So you Sword Stance up and you can hit everything for neutral damage with Stab Extreme Speed. And it hurts. We also have Recover so we can heal up if we need to. And finally, we have Earthquake. The reason I mentioned that Return would be better than Earthquake is Earthquake isn't here for coverage, because we hit everything neutrally, so this doesn't really matter. Earthquake is here because it's 20 base power, stronger than Extreme Speed. So if you need something that hits a little bit harder, Earthquake or Return would probably be your best bets. Anyways, let's go ahead and head on in here. Alright, we have to talk to this man right here. So again, he's going to mention that there's going to be a new champion now, and ask us if we're ready for the rematches. Of course we are. So he'll ask us if we want to save. Yes. And in we go. This part is going to be all about showing off Arceus right here. So also there's the Giratina statue. I'm going to go ahead and start from the right. So I guess we'll be starting with London over here. Ah, so you've returned. I can see you more deeply than you could possibly know. You haven't just returned to confront me, but also your destiny itself. And for crying out loud, how does every speech I write end up that pretentious? Anyways, welcome back, Icy. Are you ready for your rematch? I've done nothing but train since I saw you last. Let's get this show on the road. My Trick Room team will stop you in your tracks. I don't know about that. We have God itself on our side. I don't think he can do anything to us. So again, we have the Primal Arceus right here. This is kind of the showcase for Primal Arceus, like I said, mainly because we can't really show it off in the battle facility. Well, aside from one of them. But we'll talk about that later. Much later. I won't be going over the teams in depth anymore, at least for this rematch, aside from the Champions team, because most of it's kind of the same. It doesn't really matter at this point. So our goal here is to abuse Extreme Speed and Sweep. You do have to keep in mind that Extreme Speed has very low power points. Even if you've boosted it up to 8, it's still really low. So the main things I'm going to be doing here is using my Earthquake when I don't need to use Extreme Speed. So for instance, if I know he's going to pop a Revive, or if I know that he's not actually faster than me, then I'll use Earthquake, just so I can save those power points. So at this point, the Trick Room's gone, and I know he does have priority, but it doesn't really matter. If I had good friendship with Arceus, which it's not bad, but it's not max happiness, then I could use Return, and that would be a million times better than Earthquake right here. The Scizor has priority with Bullet Punch, so I want to make sure to use Extreme Speed. That way I can avoid taking the damage. And then we can go back to Earthquake because Reuniclus is really, really slow. And the fun thing about this is Togekiss normally isn't hit by Earthquake, but it doesn't matter because of Arceus' ability. So very, very easy. And we're going to be abusing this on pretty much every Elite Four member and the champion itself. So there we go. That is London down. Very easy. You're fantastic, kid. You battled very, very well. Best of luck. I have a feeling you're going to need it, good as you are. I think that's actually what he said last time. Really, really unfortunate. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and keep doing this. Heading on into face Yuki. I'm going to check my PowerPoints. If you're abusing Arceus, you do want to make sure that you check your PowerPoints. I think this is actually good enough. Alright, so I actually took a quick break. I had to heal up Arceus right here. And I also used up my PowerPoint ups. So we have max PowerPoints for Extreme Speed, with max PowerPoints for Earthquake. I don't actually have enough ethers to get through this otherwise, which is really, really unfortunate. It's kind of poor foresight on my part, but we should be fine. So right here is going to be Yuki. You've returned. It's so very good to meet you once more. As you know, I am Yuki. I subsist on the beauty and grace of the silent snowfall. The slow snowfall gives a tranquil feeling, does it not? I've been training for years with my Pokémon. I'd wish you luck, but I don't want to waste my breath. It's snowing on Mount Fuji. We've beaten her once before, but I suppose she still doesn't want to wish us luck. So the bad news here is that we gain a dragon typing when we undergo primal reversion. So we are weak to ice attacks, and things could go really, really badly here. So I'm going to set up that sword stance right there. She could have actually critical hit us, and we would have just instantly lost. Thankfully she didn't though. So we'll go ahead and get that first Earthquake off. Next up she has Cryogonal. She's going to Mega Evolve it instantly. Again, pretty unfortunate. Which also means that we're going to get hit by Sleet no matter what we do. So that's kind of annoying. Thankfully, like the others, she's going to spam max revives, so I can recover right here. That way we don't actually get knocked out by the hail. So I'll recover, I'll hit this with an Earthquake to knock it out. And I think right here I'll go ahead and Sword Stance up one more time. Just to be safe. And then I'm going to hit this with an Extreme Speed. Something I want to point out is that levitating Pokemon actually still dodge Earthquake. Even though it's supposed to hit everything and it can hit flying Pokemon, it can't hit levitators. I think that's just some sort of error in the code, which is kind of unfortunate, but it sort of is what it is. Anyways, the rest of this sweep should be pretty much guaranteed at this point. So she revived a ton of her Pokemon. We'll have to take them out again. But we should be good. Honestly, the fact that each of the Elite Four members use revives is probably the most annoying bit here. Because it means you need way more power points than you would actually need normally. So again, we have a levitating Pokemon right here. I can't actually use Earthquake, so we have to use Extreme Speed. I really don't know why that happens. It just kind of does. Finally, we have the Chandelier. This thing is Choice Scarf, so I'm going to use Extreme Speed just to be careful. And that is going to be Yuki. Wonderful. You battle with poise and grace. I'm sure you can easily handle the rest of the Elite Four. Alright. So moving on, and I'll heal up in just a second. Alright, so this is going to be Edward. Gonna drop a safety save. Well, well, well. Now, what do we got here? I see. It's good to see you again. Challenger. We haven't had one of those in a while, no sir. Remember me? It's Edward. Sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere, but I love it all the same. Let's get going. Going to get shut down so hard you won't even know what hit you. Alright. So he is a bit of a problem as well. Unfortunately, he does have the sand. And the annoying thing right here is his Hippodon does have Whirlwind. And unfortunately, if I stuck to my original plan and didn't bring Mew and Charizard, this would be fine. But I did kind of bring them. So he might Whirlwind me out. Alright, he didn't. So far, so good. I think I'll go for an Earthquake, see if I can knock this Hippowdon out. Hippowdon is pretty bulky, though. Alright, that's fine. I might actually see if I can suicide my Charizard right here. Okay, that didn't work. Again, maybe I should have fainted those two before I brought them along. Poor planning on my part. Either way, that's not too much of a problem. Next up, he's got his Mega Cacturn right here. He's going to Mega Evolve it, but like all the others, he should probably be using a Revive. So we'll be good to go ahead and get our Sword Stance up again. So he has Sucker Punch, but I have Extreme Speed, so that doesn't really matter too much. We'll send out the Hippowdon again, but he's going to use a Revive, so that means we can go ahead and get our second Sword Stance up. Again, the only reason I'm using two Sword Stances right here is because my Arceus has terrible IVs. And IVs really, really matter at the end game. Like, in early game, your IVs, your Pokemon's IVs, don't matter at all that much. But when you reach end game, they really, really do. IVs make the most difference when you're around level 100, and since this game goes beyond level 100, it goes to like level 120. Your IVs really, really affect how things go. Also, this Garchomp is pretty new, and this Garchomp can be kind of annoying. It has Sand Veil, so there's always that possibility that you might miss your attacks. So it could be really, really annoying. Also have the Aegislash right here. Another really, really annoying Pokemon. So he's going to King Shield, waste our time. Always enjoy that. Then we have the Hippowdon, once again. Welcome back. And then we finally have the Excadrill. This is one of those Pokemon that we have Extreme Speed for. Keep in mind, Primal Arceus isn't slow. It's like 140 base speed, but there's always the chance that you could get outsped. And there we go. Well, not bad. Not bad at all. You've got Spirit Kid. You could go far. Best of luck. You'll definitely need it. Alright, so I healed up, popped a couple of Ethers, and let's go ahead and head on into our last challenge right on over here. Pop a safety save, and let's go. Sup, nerd? Yeah, you. I remember you. It's me, Kayla. I specialize in hard work and harmony. Let's just get going. I'm sure as anxious for a rematch as I am. Alright, so if you remember her, she has the Baton Pass team. It's really, really terrifying, actually. especially since Arceus can't really learn Taunt. Kind of unfortunate. So that means she's probably going to Spore us, and she's probably going to absolutely destroy us. Possibly. So she'll go ahead and get that Spore up. One of the best things you can do is have a Pokemon that outspeeds her Smeargle and just taunt it, and watch as it struggles itself to death. But that's completely fine. So I'm going to actually let her get up the Quiver Dance. And hopefully I can wake up sometime soon. Alright, so I got my second Sword Stance up right there. So the Smeargle is Focus Sashed, which means no matter what I do to this thing, it's going to live on 1 HP, probably Baton Pass. Or you can Spore me. I probably should have Extreme Speeded. That's fine though, I kind of want this thing to pass. So that was her Blaziken, which also has a Focus Sash. So again, we have priority in Extreme Speed, which means no matter how fast that thing is, it's gone. So all of those boosts, gone in basically an instant. So I know I'm faster than the Smeargle, it'll probably put me to sleep again. That's completely fine. So as you can see right here, Arceus is basically making her entire Baton Pass team irrelevant. Which isn't really anything new. So we'll go ahead and finish off the Smeargle, and the rest of her team is basically very, very easy to deal with. So we'll go ahead and take out the Sylveon. I might actually use up some Extreme Speeds. I'm probably going to be popping my final Elixir right before the champion battle. So it doesn't really matter what I do. Alright, there we go. Your skills are incredible. I'm very impressed. The pathway to our champion should open to you now. Well, I thought I impressed you the first time, but apparently not. So we're going to go ahead and step on that little pressure pad right there. Champion room hasn't really changed that much. Anyways, I popped my final elixir, and we're going to go ahead and head on up here. Pop a safety save. And that's weird, it's 2 people. Well, actually, that's kind of fitting. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. Hi. I guess you're wondering who we are. I'm Graham. I'm Tobias. We're brothers. Twins, despite the size difference. There was some weird time stuff going on in Vezerin. We were in the Pokemon League members from there. I'm a gym leader. He was an Elite Four member. We were invited over after your previous champion left, and you know what that means. If you want to beat the league again, you're going to have to take on both of us at once. So do you think you can handle it? I'm a master of Dark-type Pokemon, and my brother excels in Ghost types. Together, we're completely undefeatable. Let's not waste any time. Alright, here we go. So this is actually a double battle. You probably don't see too many of these in Insurgence, and it's kind of unfortunate because it makes the sweep a little bit more difficult. So Mew and Charizard here get to act as fodder. That's pretty fun. I think I might actually cheat a little bit and use some X items. Also, I realize I need to be talking about their sets because this is kind of a new trainer and whatnot. I think I'll pop this X Special Defense 3 on Mew, just to make this a little bit easier on Arceus, because you really shouldn't be able to solo this battle with pretty much anything. So that's fine. I'll go ahead and get up 1 Sword Stance. I think that should be fine. So something else. If you haven't done a lot of double battles, then you should probably realize that spread moves only deal 75% of their original damage in double battles. Unless, of course, they only hit one target. Which means I should be prioritizing extreme speed. Anyways, on to the sets. So, Spiritomb has the Noctum ability, has the Black Glasses, has Sucker Punch, Will-O-Wisp, Foul Play, and Pursuit. Gengar, on the other hand, has the Levitate, has the Life Orb, has Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Focus Blast, and Icy Wind. So I'm going to prioritize getting rid of Gengar right here. So that's kind of a pain. Again, my Arceus's attack stat, its attack IV, is so bad that without a Sword Stance boost, I would have never knocked out that Gengar. Next up, we have the Aegislash, has Stance Change, has Leftovers, has King Shield, Shadow Sneak, Iron Head, and Shadow Claw. So again, I don't really want to do too much with my Charizard, but I do want to take out the Spiritomb. So I will focus on using Extreme Speed, mainly because Extreme Speed is a lot stronger than Earthquake right now at this point. I'll also use an X item on Charizard, mainly so I can help out Arceus just a little bit. Just kind of even things out a little bit. Next up, we have the Greninja. Has Protean, has Life Orb, has Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Hydro Pump, and Gunk Shot. I might actually go for an Earthquake. Yeah, I might actually do that. And then I'll just Flame Charge with this because I really don't want Charizard doing anything more than just taking hits. Alright, there we go. That's fine with me. I don't think that critical hit mattered. Greninja is a very, very frail Pokemon. And finally, we'll see the Shiftry. This is actually Mega Shiftry. So it has Chlorophyll for an ability, but it has the Shiftry, right? Which means it's going to change into Shadow Dance. So its speed will be doubled under the Darkness. Has New Moon, Leaf Storm, Sucker Punch, and Knockoff. I think I'm going to count on the Aegislash going for its King Shield and just try to knock out the Shiftry again. Typically, whenever there's an NPC with an Aegislash, you can count on them going for its King Shield every other turn. So finally, it's just us and the Aegislash. We're going to go ahead and hit this with an Earthquake. It's full power because there's only one side of the field available. And finally, we have the Milotic. So this Milotic has Cursed Body, but it has the Delta Miloite, which means its ability will turn into Absolution when it Mega Evolves, has Shadow Ball, Aura Spear, Calm Mind, and New Moon. The Darkness is gone, so we're just going to go ahead and destroy this thing. So go ahead and hit that with an Earthquake. Barely lived, but it can't knock us out. It might have knocked us out if there was darkness on the field, though. So I'll go ahead and slowly knock this out. If they could stop spamming items, please. Thank you. Not bad. Well, you took me out. Wow, the trainers here in Torin are pretty impressive. It seems as if... Wait, what the? You're kids! How is it that the strongest trainers in the region are all... Hello, Professor. Congratulations, I see, as usual. It seems like you're the champion. Just recently you were in my lab, choosing your very first Pokemon. And now you're the champion of the Torin League. That's amazing. I'm proud of you. Come, let's get you registered in the Hall of Fame. So for the second time, we'll be returning to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Icy. This is where I record you and your team to be remembered as champions forever. Congratulations, Icy. You've done so much for this region, and now you've beaten its league. You deserve it. Thank you for telling me again. So again, Arceus did most of the work. We only needed Mew and Charizard to tank a few hits in the champion battle, because unfortunately it's doubles and you can't really do anything about that. So once again, we'll have the credit scene, all of those things roll, because, I mean, why not? It's a good way to show off the people that put their time and effort into making the game. So once this is done, we'll go ahead and restart our game in just a little bit though. Alright, now that we're done with the credits once more, we're gonna go ahead and take care of some content. Unfortunately, we didn't just do the league rematches just to kind of have fun with Arceus. I mean, it was nice to show off Arceus and all, but that wasn't our goal. So starting off on our little trek here to do the content that we unlocked by beating the league the second time, we're gonna start off here in this house. So this is London's house. First off, let's talk to this guy. Wait, what? You're the kid that beat my brother? Okay, maybe you're better than I thought, but don't let it go to your head. London will end up beating you one day, mark my words. And now over here we have London. I see. Welcome to my humble abode. I'll spare you the pretentious introductions just this once and formally congratulate you for defeating not only myself, but also the rest of the league. Once again. But listen, Icy. I have no doubt that the journey you have experienced thus far has been long and arduous. But you must remember that your adventure does not end here. So long as you continue to possess a burning passion for discovering everything that this world has to offer, you will continue to fill the pages of your own story. And to that end, I would like to bestow upon you a gift. So he will give us our own Reuniclite. You seem a bit concerned. Are you perhaps worried about what will become of my team if I part ways with such a precious item? I do appreciate the concern, but the Reuniclite that you now possess was one of two given to me by my father before his passing. You may think it a bit strange, perhaps even cold of me to give an invaluable item like a Megastone to an acquaintance rather than my own brother, but in truth well, let's just say that I think it's best for him to take his own path in life, rather than blindly waddling behind me. There are far too many possibilities that he needs to experience for him to remain within my shadow, oblivious to the colors of the world around him. But I'm sure that you didn't come to hear me talk about this, and I'm sure that you, being the third augur, have your own duties to attend to. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to pay me a visit, and I do hope to see you again for a rematch at the league in the future. How nice of him. Also, something I want to point out, I really like his sprite, especially when it's here in his house. So you can compare it to his brother, who has sort of the basic sprite of a psychic. So you kind of see the base of his sprite. He kind of looks like a grown-up psychic in a way. Anyways, we're really not done with the extra content in the end game here. So we're going to start off here by starting to soar. So we're going to talk to the Pika Taxi guy right here, or rather the Emolga Taxi guy. And I would like to soar to the skies. I probably should bring more Pokemon with me, but this is fine. So now that we've beaten the league, or the league rematches, we can actually head to the skies and we can find different Hoopa portals up in the skies here. So right here is Thanatos Cliffs, and if we go up a few rock climb spots here, eventually we will run into Ivalto. So drop a safety save, go ahead and encounter it. And let's grab it. Alright, the game is having a little bit of mercy on me today. Hopefully it continues to do so. So that is 1 out of 2 legendaries that we can capture here in the skies. And I'm sure you can imagine what the next one is going to be. So let's go ahead and leave Thanatos Cliffs right here. And next up, we're going to be heading sort of towards the left. Pelipper really is a troll. Anyways, we want to head sort of over here. It's sort of to the right of Gaia Town and sort of below Uranus Town. Over here is the Cult Lecture Gardens. And if we come all the way over here and jump up this waterfall, we will find Xerneas. Again, drop a safety save, encounter it, and let's grab it. Alright, there we go. Another very, very easy capture. I don't believe that this game actually changed their catch rates from what they were in X and Y, which is 45. Again, that's a very, very nice catch rate compared to what you were probably dealing with before. So anyways, we've captured Xerneas and Ivalto. So I think it's time to go ahead and pay another visit to the home of the Timeless. Alright, so we're back here at the cave where you would normally find the Timeless. You'll also find the portal to the Void Gauntlet right there. We're going to go ahead and surf all the way over here into the cave where we met Mew. And something else is waiting here for us. It's Victini. We're going to go ahead and drop a safety save and let's get it. Victini is probably one of my favorite legendaries. I have really, really good memories of figuring out how to use the DNS exploit on Black and White and actually doing the Victini event. It's really, really cool. Really, really fun. So this Victini kind of brings a question to most people's minds, and that's what happened to the Timeless? And there really isn't any good answer to that. But I'll talk about that as soon as I grab this Victini. Unfortunately, unlike Xerneas and Ivalto, it has a catch rate of 3. Alright, there we go. We've caught our Victini right here. So that's a pretty cool catch, pretty cool find. But if we leave here and we re-enter, we can't go back to the Timeless Cave. So again, on to the thoughts of the Timeless. I think a lot of people accept the theory that the Timeless are kind of gone. Alright, don't be so grumpy. But we have Arceus, aka God, following us, and he was the one responsible for putting the Timeless in charge of the crystal, but Arceus was resummoned and we captured him. So he's not keeping the Timeless alive anymore. He's not keeping them from aging in their secret hideout anymore. Also, yeah, we're heading through the Void Gauntlet. There's a couple other things that we can actually do here. Unfortunately. Or fortunately, these might be your favorite legendaries. I'm not really sure. But yeah, the generally accepted theory is that now that we have Arceus, the Timeless have no reason to exist. And Victini was kind of a parting gift left by them. Also, right here is a nice spot to go ahead and heal up your party if you need to. You might not. Who knows? So we're going to go ahead and head on into here. This is Cita Dark Isle. We're not quite where we need to be yet. Should be one more stop ahead. So here's the giant chasm. Again, we're going to skip right through this. And finally, here we are, Spear Pillar. So if we come all the way up over here, we'll see Dialga kind of stomping around. It's actually kind of foreboding. So we're going to drop a safety save right here. Let's grab him. I kind of wish they had the music for this, actually. But that's fine. Alright, so that was the Dialga. Pretty cool, especially with Sinnoh remakes coming up soon. Something interesting I want to mention is that in the original Sinnoh games, its catch rate is actually 30. then in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, when those came out, it was actually changed to 3. Also, right here in the Hall of Legends is where you are going to find Palkia. And if your team got battered by Doggo, then you can actually head back to the Pokemon Tower and use the spots there to heal up, which is what I'm going to do. Alright, I healed up, and we're going to go ahead, drop a safety save, and encounter Palkia. Alright, there we go. We finally caught the Palkia, and we're finally done here in the Void Gauntlet. There are going to be no more trips back to this place ever again. We're done. So with that said and done, our next target is going to be heading into Gaia Town. We're here in Gaia Town, and our next target is going to be all the way over here in front of the gym. Hey, I see. It's good to see you again. It's not so good to see you. Listen, it's been one heck of a ride, huh? I heard that you beat the Elite Four. For the second time. That's amazing. Congratulations. I've been doing some thinking. I don't want to be confined to this region. I'm not happy here. I want to go challenge leagues. I want to go join contests. I want to go to Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, and even Alola. Torin doesn't have a lot of great memories for me. That's why I'll be starting over, from scratch. A new team, a new goal, a new purpose. A fresh start. I was going to release all my Pokemon before I left, but... well, I don't think I should release all of them. I don't know how well Celebi would do in the wild. Celebi and I are destined to be together. After all, I don't think Celebi would be happy to be caught and used by anyone. That's why, if you'll permit it, I'd like Celebi to travel with you, Icy. Will you do it? Will you let Celebi join you on your adventure? As a favor to me. I mean, the adventure's almost over, but sure. Thank you, Icy, for everything. And now it's time for me to be off, I guess. Hopefully I'll see you again. If you ever decide to leave Torin, let me know. I'll be glad to show you around, wherever the winding road leads me. And that's basically the end of Nora. Again, I've never really been too fond of her. A lot of people aren't really too fond of her, for good reason, but that's how it happens, I suppose. Anyways, our next destination is going to be Erebus City. We have another rival that we actually need to be talking to. Alright, here in Erebus City, right in front of this tree, we'll find Damien. I'm sure most people are actually glad to see him. I see. I don't really know what to talk to you about anymore. Everything's changed between us, you know? I guess I'll get right to it then. Your father is amazing. He's been helping me a lot, helping me figure out what's real, what actually happened. We've been trying to transform this area of the Dream Realm into a place worth living, you know? There are a lot of weird ethics dilemmas with a world in your head, but I really like it here. I want to help your father and the people living here. I think that's what I've always wanted to do, to help people. That's why I got taken in so easily. If I really want to help people, I need to let go of my past and forgive myself. I just want to move on. And to do that, I'll need to let go of the one thing that's kept me full of pride and, well, cockiness ever since I met them. I'm talking about Shaman, of course. And Icy, it would really mean a lot if you were the one to take Shaman off my hands. Will you do it? Will you let Shaman join you instead? Sure. And actually, while we're at it, take this too. It hatched from an egg I was trying to hatch. It's weird. I thought deltas couldn't hatch from eggs. There must be something in the daycare that's causing it. Anyway, thank you, Icy, for everything. This means the world to me. Please, stay in touch. I'll be right here. You know, inside your, head. It's really sad. So, he'll give us Shaman, which we have right here. But he also gives us the last Delta starter that we were missing. So, you don't get anything from him, or you don't get the Delta starter from him if you picked Eevee, because you got all three from Professor Sylvan. But if you didn't get all three from Professor Sylvan because you didn't pick Eevee, you would get your last and final one from Damien. So right here we have the Delta Squirtle of our own, finally. And that means there's only one more Delta for us to actually grab. Also, if you're wondering, you should actually already have the Gracidia flower. Back in Helios, there is an NPC that basically gives it to you for free, for nothing. So I'm gonna check here. I should have it somewhere. Alright, well apparently I don't. So I must have skipped over it at some point, which means we are going to be heading to Helios and grabbing that really, really quickly. Alright, this is the last stop. Here in Helios City, we're going to be heading all the way over here up sort of towards this area. There is this lady right here wandering around. Young child, allow me to pass down to you this flower. It is said that gratitude will make it blossom beautifully. Always be grateful for the privileges you have. And she will give us the Gracidia. So again, you can use this to change Shaman into its sky form. So if I can just come down here, and we're going to use it on Shaman. And there you go. So this was the last stop for most of the legendaries, but not really. We're actually going to be heading over to the Holland region really, really quickly, because there is something that we actually have to grab over there. Alright, here in Holland, we're going to be soaring the skies yet again. So, gonna talk to the Amoga Taxi guy. Please just let us fly. And we're going to be heading all the way over here to the volcano. So that's at the tippy top. There should be a portal opened up there. And it is. We're going to head into that portal, and we'll actually find Delta Hoopa. So drop a safety save. Let's go. Alright, there we go. We have ourselves a Delta Hoopa. It's a Delta species discovered by Terra Cotta. The clouds produced around its torso allow it to remain in the air even while it is asleep. It's awesome. So we're actually going to be heading back to Tornhelm. There's a few last remaining things that we have to wrap up over there. One of them is going to be in Infiltrate City, and it has to do with the Hoopa that we just caught. Alright, so here we are. Back in Infiltrate City, we're going to be talking to this old man with our Hoopa in our bottle. This time, he has a different deal for us. He's always been interested in the myth of the Djinn. So we're going to go ahead and show us a different Djinn. He's a little bit surprised. It looks different. Perhaps it's a little bit different than I remember. Tell you what, why don't you take this? I did promise after all. And he will give us the Cloud Bottle, which allows us to change the form of our Delta Hoopa right here. So right here we have a Mono Flying type Pokemon, but if we go ahead and go into our bag, we can pop open the Cloud Bottle right here and unleash Delta Hoopa right here. It becomes a Fairy and Flying type. It's pretty cool. It's got some decent moves, like it has Aeroblast. Nothing else besides Lugia has that. It also has a signature move called Spirit Away. It's a fairy type move that's 100 base power. It's basically Sky Drop, but for fairies. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, there's one, well, it's not really one, it's more like 3 or 4. So when we beat the league rematches, somehow the legendary dogs from Johto decided that they would start roaming the region. You can find them on every route here, except for Route 4. The bad news, it's a 1 out of 60 chance, but there is a way to improve your chances. So if you're looking for Raikou, have a Pokemon with Lightning Rod or Volt Absorb in your party, and that increases the chance to 1 out of 10. If you're looking for Entei, have a Pokemon with Flash Fire or Blaze Boost in your party, and that increases the chance for Entei to 1 out of 10. If you're looking for Suicune, have a Pokemon with Storm Drain or Water Absorb, and that increases the chance to 1 out of 10. And again, this is on any route, and they also work basically like things worked with Cresselia, if you remember that. So they won't run away, we can just sit there, toss balls at them, put them to sleep. You know the drill. So we're going to go ahead and grab some Pokemon with those abilities to make our life a little bit easier. I don't actually want any of you. I want to use the Deltas, just because they don't have any other purpose at this point. So I'll go ahead and grab that for Flash Fire. Again, it could be anything that has those abilities. So I'll go ahead and find something with Water Absorb. Alright, so I have some Pokemon here with me. So we have the Chinchou right here. Just has the Flash Fire. I have the Gardevoir. I actually changed this thing's ability just for this purpose. So we have Lightning Rod. And we have Turtwig right here with Water Absorb. So we're going to go ahead and just find a nice spot of grass. Probably going to go ahead and head on over to the nearest route. Again, it really doesn't matter where, as long as you're not looking on Route 4. And we're going to find us some legendary doggos. Alright, there we go. We found one. So we found our Entei. Also, you'll notice I swapped Arceus out of the front. It's kind of annoying to constantly have to watch it undergo its primal reversion. It's such a long cutscene. Alright, there we go. That is the Entei down, which leaves us 2 more legendary dogs to go. Alright, there we go. We found ourselves a Raikou. Alright, there we go. We have our Raikou right there. And now the only one left is going to be Suicune. And finally, here we have the Suicune. This one actually took a little bit of a while to encounter. And finally, we've caught our Suicune. So now that we have all 3 of the legendary dogs, there is one Pokemon in particular that we can go and grab as soon as we get them in our party. I'm going to go ahead and collect all 3 of them and head to Celine City in just a little bit. Alright, here we are in Celine City. We're going to be heading over to this little pond right here, and we're going to be diving down here. If you remember, there was this really old tower in this area, and if we head into this area with all 3 of the legendary dogs in our party, the power of them will send a ripple through space-time. This will generate a Tesseract spot that we can use right here to go back in time, and the tower looks fantastic now. We will unfortunately encounter a ton of strength boulders, but they're not that much of a problem. Just be very careful with how you push them out of the way so you don't trap yourself. And you should be all good. So right here, gonna push that out of the way and go right up here. Also make sure you push this boulder right onto that pad. I'm not sure why, but for some reason you have to. And finally, we'll be up here on this rooftop. The sign reads something about an ancient Pokemon. And here we are, Ho-Oh will appear. I really like this, and I like the rainbow summoning. Ho-Oh is often associated with rainbows. There's so many times that it really is. So we're going to drop a safety save right here and challenge it. It's kind of weird that this would be the last Pokemon that we would be grabbing, but it is. And there we go, we finally caught the Ho-Oh. I have really good memories of this Pokemon, and it's really cool to see that this Pokemon shows up here the way it does. And that's going to be it for this part. We are so incredibly close to being done. There's only 3 legendaries that we have yet to capture, I believe. Unless I'm wrong, and I'm probably going to figure out soon enough if I am or not, but I don't think I am this time. And I believe the next part after this is actually going to be a catch-em-all. I'm not too sure about that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I know it's been a long ride. but I appreciate you all sticking around for it. I will most definitely catch you all on the next one. Peace.